Hello my ladies, welcome back to my channel. My name is Hadi, and if you're new here, welcome. So on today's video I will be talking about how to date yourself and why it's so important as a single woman for you to date yourself. I love this saying that says people will treat you how you teach them to treat you. So without fluffing around, let's just get right in. So, what is actually you dating yourself? What does it even mean? It basically means you taking care of yourself, prioritizing yourself, loving yourself, just like you would somebody that you are in a relationship with. Because most of the time, we get into a relationship and we just forget about us. Even though we shower, we do all these things, we tend to put our energy into this person, into this relationship to make them happy, to cook for them, we clean for them, we buy gifts for them, and we don't even do these things for ourselves. And even sometimes you are like, okay, I need a dress, but you are thinking of getting that dress because you have a dinner with that person you are in a relationship with. But when you are actually dating yourself, it's you like booking out your own personal dinner date to say, okay, this is a list of restaurants in my town and I would like to visit this place. I've never been before, so let me go there. I work, of course you do work, you have your own money. It doesn't have to be like an expensive restaurant, but it could be something that you can afford. It could just even be for a tea break. There are sites, I don't know if it's in America, but it's in the UK, called Groupon, where you can actually get like cheap tea parlors where you can just go down to the city and have this tea where you just sit down and lovely tea is being served, cakes and those kind of stuff like that. But the environment is just clean, where you meet different people, even though they're not talking to you. But you being in that space is a form of you dating yourself, because sometimes basically those are kind of the places sometimes you would go with somebody. Why not go by yourself and just enjoy being by yourself? And you don't know, you might meet somebody there, but that is not the point. The point is you taking yourself out, booking an hotel, going out and getting that dress with the mindset of, this is what I want to wear. I need to wear this dress. This dress is going to look good on me. And you dress up yourself looking all wonderful and going out on this date by yourself. I know it will look weird initially. It will look like, okay, am I crazy? I booked this restaurant and you get there and everybody is with somebody and you are by yourself. Girl, it is weird. I've done it before. With time, you will get used to it. If you've done it like 1 to 3 times, after a while, it just become a normal thing for you to do. Okay, this thing I used to do before when I was single, I used to go to the cinema. I love the cinema and I still do. And I miss going to the cinema like I used to go when I did not have a child. So I used to go to the cinema, watch my kind of movies that I want. And before I go in, I get my popcorn, get my shake and just watch these movies. And when I come out, I just go to the restaurants that are nearby. You don't have to book, you just walk in, but they are lovely. And then I think I used to go to the restaurant and the cinema in London, and it was the Greenish, where the O2 Arena, very beautiful place like this, with all this little wonderful cinema, Italian restaurant, Brazilian, Chinese and stuff like that. So you just basically walk in. So when I finish from watching my movie, I go to the cinema, to this restaurant to eat what I wanted to eat. So it was basically just me doing me. And when I started doing it, it was kind of strange, but as I kept to it and it became a routine, it became not just a routine but a ritual. That's what I'm getting at. It became a ritual for me, and it's actually a ritual that has given me, that has boosted my confidence even now that I'm with somebody, because now I just know, I just have this self-confidence in myself that my happiness does not come from a man, does not come from anybody, does not come from friends. And doing these things enabled me to love myself and to know me better. And basically, having friends is a beautiful thing, hanging out with people, but I actually enjoy spending time with me. And this has stuck with me over the years now. I can be in the house doing me. And when I was living by myself, I had all these wonderful rituals that I did that enabled me to just get on with my life and find happiness within me. And that is what I'm trying to say in this video. As a Black woman, you need this self-care, this self-dating rituals that will make you be the kind of woman that you admire as a person. Especially when you are a person who goes into a relationship and you really can't keep a relationship based on certain maybe attitudes, certain you're clingy, you are bossy, and you are just like all overall men complain about your attitude. I think this is actually the time as a single woman for you to actually date yourself and reflect. Use this time to reflect. Get a wonderful journal. You can get them from Amazon, where you write about your feelings. Really dig deep. And if you're a person, or if you think you are a person who've had abuse while you were growing up, you've had a toxic parent and a toxic environment, and I think you should take it further by having a therapy. And if you can afford it, I think it's a wonderful thing to really have a therapist who can help you, dig deep and heal from these things, this resentment that sits inside of you that you don't even know is there. Because sometimes we get into these relationships, and because you have not dealt with things that needed to be dealt with, you go in there with all these baggages, and you are in your 30s and you still cannot, be in a relationship with a person and be independent of them. So you see people or ladies going into a relationship and depending on their partner for their happiness and for their joy, which sometimes can be sweet, but sometimes, especially when you are overdoing it, it becomes a burden to the other person. So you need to ask yourself, do you have attachment issues? Because you can't go into a relationship, my darling, and be making other people, an idol in your life. Because when you are able to date yourself, take the time out to be intentional about dating you and knowing you and creating these boundaries, knowing, reflecting on your past relationship, how you were with John, how you were with this, how you were with that. What was it that made those relationships stop working? What is it about you that men are complaining about? Is it really true? When you take the time to do this work for yourself, you understand what I'm saying? You will have the resilience, the self-love, and the ability to go into another relationship healthy. And basically, these rituals, they don't have to be expensive. What works for me might not work for you, and what works for you might not work for me. You basically just have to find out the things that works for you. It could basically just you, having your hair done, in the salon, going to the salon on a Saturday or every 2 weeks, after getting your hair done. You have your self-care basket where you have your mask, your hand cream, your nail polish, all the stuffs that you use at home to take care of yourself. Or you could be a person who doesn't want to have a self-care basket. You could just be a person who can afford to go to the spa like every 2 weeks, where you actually book a whole spa treatment. You have the whole massage, sauna, and all those stuff. You could be that kind of person. And it could be that you are the kind of person who even likes to travel to a resort, like maybe once a month, where you just treat yourself for your own mental health, which is something that sometimes you see women just all they talk about is, oh, I need a man, oh, I want a relationship. There is nothing wrong in wanting a relationship, but there is something I can tell you, my darling. When you know, or you have learned to date yourself, you understand yourself better, you have all these rituals that you have cultivated for yourself to make you feel good, You are just confident as a single woman. Little things don't trip you. What do I mean by this? You don't get carried away with little things. You don't just open your leg for a man because he treated you to a nice dinner. Because these are the things that you normally do for yourself. You don't get carried away or fall in love with a man because he took you out or he took you on a weekend to a spa or to a retreat on an island or wherever, because these are the things that you are already doing for yourself. And I promise you this, yeah, my darling, there are sites that you can get all these packages for really low prices. You don't have to spend all your savings on these things. And besides, it's your life. You deserve these things, even if it's once a month or once in 2 months. You need to do these things for yourself. And it doesn't stop you from dating or from meeting new people. And when I was growing up, one of my sisters here, she used to say these things. Go to the environment of the people or where people you would love to be with, where they frequent. So if you're the kind of black woman who okay, I want to date white guys, I want to date other races, use this opportunity to book your own self date in restaurants where this kind of men go to, and in resorts where mostly white people go to. So use that time for you to reschedule things to put you in front of the people that you want to be with. Basically, that is where I'm going with this. Get out of your comfort zone. Do different things. And it could also be museums. You understand? Okay, you've never been to a museum before. Now that you are single, that is a wonderful self-date that you can actually do. Get a ticket, go to your local museum. You understand what I'm saying? And I promise you this, yeah, you will meet different kind of people there. And most of the time, you just meet like-minded people or interesting people there. And sometimes you might not even talk to anyone. You might just go there, enjoy yourself, look at things, being intentional, be present, and actually appreciate this history. Appreciate it. And you could just go to different one every month. You understand what I'm trying to say? You can go to different one every month just to really appreciate. These are the things that you can do for yourself so that when you get into a relationship, you can actually have things to talk about and you will seem so interesting, because then your life is not all about you going to work, coming home, going to church. There are other things. Now you sound interesting when you are actually in a date or on a date with a man. Now you guys are talking and you're talking about the fun things that you enjoy doing, and your life is filled with all this fun. And now you don't even have space for toxic people. You don't get carried away by rubbish character, and you will kind of teach that person or whoever you are with or people around you to treat you better, because now you know what it is to treat you better. And another thing you could do, this could be the time that you could use to read wonderful books. For me, one of the books that I read that actually changed my dating game was about, I think the book was written by an American author called Michelle Hammond. She now lives in Ghana. Wonderful book. That book changed my dating game, my darlings. And I started seeing myself as the prize. I started seeing myself as I have value. And I started seeing myself that my life does not depend on rejection that I've had before in a past relationship or with somebody that ghosted me. My value does not depend on that. People leave because people want to leave. No matter what you do, people who want to leave will leave you. And sometimes it's just destiny. You just have to have this belief to say the right people will come to me, especially when you are intentional about your mental health, about your self-care. You understand? You speak all these positive affirmations into your life. And that was what I was doing. My dating game changed. I was no longer desperate. I was not going on a date and saying, oh, could this be my husband? No. I was actually vetting men properly. I was actually saying, okay, is it your husband material? I was asking the right questions because I was no longer tasty. I took the attention from men to me. The same attention I was trying to put into relationship, into man, making me think that they were the prize, they were more important to the relationship. I put that same energy in me, and I put it on myself to say, I am the prize. I am worth more than £1 billion. I might not be the cup of tea of every man, but I love me the way I am. I've read more books on self-worth. I read more books on self-development, and I started going to the gym. And I joined this Zumba dance in my local area. And another thing I did was, what did I do? I started just being intentional, generally about me. And my flat then, I used to live by myself. And one of the things I did was I had all these infusion scented oils where I would just smell my whole house out. And I started taking skills. I was making my own wigs. I didn't know making wigs for me was going to be that therapeutic, and I actually enjoyed making my own wigs while I'm watching my Netflix when I'm off work. And I was doing all these things. And when I went back into dating, now let me go back a bit. I've registered before in dating site. But now that I was doing things differently, I was dating myself more. I was intentional about my self-care, about my mental health, about my dating life. I went back into dating sites. And I didn't just go or pay money for any site. Now I know that, okay, I am a Black woman in a foreign country, in a Western world, and not just a Black woman. I am an African Black woman, and I look certain way. I am not a size 6, neither am I a size 12. I look certain way, and not every man will find me attractive. And I'm like, okay, now I'm telling myself the truth. So where is my demographic? Who are the people that will actually find me attractive? The kind of men who love women that looks like me. I wanted to know where they hang out. Which dating site do they hang out? And that was what made me to make a decision to register in a dating site where mostly Black men were actually registering. And I did register on those sites, and I did find out that my dating game just changed. I was being spoken to more. I was having more dates because these were men who liked women like me. I didn't have to fake it. I just had to be me, because they were attracted to to the kind of women that looked like me. So now I was not in sites where men were after certain kind of women or certain sizes of women where I felt rejected. Now I'm in my own space. But I didn't get there because I just thought of it. I got there because I took the time out to date me, to really reflect on certain things about me. And that was what opened my eyes to this fact. And that was how I was dating. I was having fun. I was just doing me. And I was not, there's a word I want to use. I was no longer desperate. So I didn't just go on dates, and I wasn't like giving men my addresses. I was being intentional with the people I spoke to. I had all these boundaries. I didn't speak to men after a certain time at night because I don't have time for sex talk. So I was able to set these boundaries in relationships, even when I was talking to people at the talking stage, just because I have learned how to self-date myself, and I have all these rituals that I was going through, or I was doing as a Black woman living in a Western world. So, my darlings, doing all these things, like I said, is one of the things that will benefit you, that will help you to boost your confidence and to see clearly. And talking about seeing clearly, let me say this here. If you are the kind of woman who will have sex or who is horny, my darling, don't go on a date when you are horny. Don't do that. Especially when you know that you are attracted to that kind of man, because you are going to have sex when you are not even ready to have sex, and he might ghost you, and you might feel worthless, and you are back to square zero. So one of the things I would advise, listen, darling, you don't have to take my advice, but I will say it anyway, is for you to get a vibrator. Yes, there are vibrators on Amazon. There are vibrators that does different things. They are the ones that can lick you down there. They are the ones that just, the small bullet ones. I think every woman, or let me not just every, but mostly single women, or you are in a relationship and you are not really having the orgasm that you feel that you need in your life, my darling, you need your vibrator. So take care of yourself. I think having a vibrator and taking care of yourself is actually self-care. Seriously, just do you take care of your orgasm, and you just have this release before you go on that date. Darling, you will thank me later, because your mind will be so clear and you will see properly. And don't over drink. You understand what I'm saying? Because these things are things you will see and know about yourself when you are self-dating, and when you are reflecting, you will know your triggers and you just walk by them. Because now you going out by yourself, you're drinking by yourself, you're like, okay, after I had like 2 glasses of wine, I start feeling honey. Now you know. Okay, you go home, okay, yeah, you've got your vibrator. You take care of you. So these are some of the things that I would say that is the benefit of you as a woman, to have these rituals for yourself. And when you start dating again, you are not desperate. You will find yourself having a life apart from the person that you are with. Of course, it's wonderful to have somebody. That is not what I'm saying. But now you are in a position where you love you. If the person is there, the person is not there, you are still you and having great time with yourself, with friends, with family. You are not lonely. That space of loneliness is no longer there, because you have filled yourself, you have filled your time and your inner self with the things that is making you whole and making you complete. And one of the beautiful things about dating when you are complete is you come across as a very attractive person, because people just love people who don't care about them, or who don't show it as much as they want to see it. Because you have a life, and now people find you interesting, because now they want to be in your space, they want to know what you're doing, they want to be part of it, because you are not allowing people into your space anyhow. That is what I can say. Now you have your own life. Even girlfriends will be like, we don't see you these days. You are like a very busy woman. It's like you are dating secretly. No. Your life shouldn't be always about dating. Now you are dating you. Now you are actually buying perfumes and smelling it and liking it, and be intentional about your dressing, the way you make your hair, the way you get your nails done. These things are actually the things that makes you an attractive person. You are going to places, you are traveling, you are booking a restaurant, you're booking trips, you are booking hotels. You are doing all these things, filling your life with memories, with fun things. And as you are going along, you are meeting people, you are smiling more. And now, don't get me wrong, there are people who will say, but there is nothing as there's something about having a man beside you. Listen, my darling, if you don't date yourself and have these rituals that boost you up, that makes you a whole woman, you will get into a relationship and you will still fall out of that relationship, because having a relationship with a man does not give you a whole happiness. You will just be in a relationship, like I said, you will still be a mess. Confidence, a woman who knows her worth, is a woman who has worked on herself, who has reflected on things that needed to be reflected on, a woman who has taken the time out to just know who it's not something you watch, it's just something you live with. You have all these values because you have taken time out by yourself to educate yourself, to work on your mindset, and you just have this mindset shift. That is why they say being a millionaire is not about the money you have or whatever. It's a mindset. You understand? Wealth is a mindset. That is what it is. Your self-worth is a mindset. And this comes about when you are single and you are being intentional about yourself. You're reflecting on yourself, on your triggers, on the good and the bad, and past relationships that you have been with. That is why having these self-date rituals will help you to achieve these things. So I think that I've said enough, and I don't want this video to be too long. So my darlings, this is actually the end of this video, and I hope that I have taken the time out to explain to you that some of the importance of self-dating yourself and having these rituals as a Black woman. So if you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe, like my videos, share my videos so it can help my channel to grow, and as well that you can get more wonderful informations from me. So I love you, and I will see you on my next one. Adios.